Well, they were creating the very news they were then tweeting about and trying to get the media to write about. This is, frankly, it's no different. It's the template that the left uses, that the Democrats use. It's the same thing that happened 4 months ago when we found out the Department of Education went out and solicited the letter from the National School Boards Association so they could do what they wanted to do, namely spy on parents. The same thing happened here, and this is what's so egregious and so wrong about it. I mean, you think about it, they spied on a presidential campaign. That's as wrong as it gets. But then we found out from this filing that they actually spied on a sitting president, which is even worse. So this is just simply as wrong as it can possibly be. Thank goodness that Mike Turner is exactly right. We do need to investigate this stuff, get to every bit of information we can, if in fact the people give us the majority here in a few months.
The wheels of justice turn slowly, and that's sometimes very frustrating for people. But John Durham does not seem to be pressured or rushed into things. He is doing his investigation as he sees fit. And this comes from a routine filing, so people are reading these very closely. I wonder what you think about Jake Sullivan serving now as the National Security Advisor, but also possibly, I would imagine, just from his own statements in 2016, somebody that John Durham might be interested in talking to.
Yeah, he may be. We don't know where Mr. Durham will go with the investigation. He may, in fact, be looking at Mr. Sullivan. We'll have to wait and see. What I do think is interesting is in that filing, it talks about Zussman, who's been indicted, and Tech Executive One, speaking with another lawyer at Perkins Coie, which everyone believes is Mark Elias. Now, we all know Mark Elias is the Democrats' go-to election guy. He worked at Perkins Coie. They're the ones who helped finance and put together the now famous dossier that they used on President Trump. But he's also the guy who's out there filing all these actions against Republican redistricting efforts, and he's part of the operation in North Carolina to try to keep one of my colleagues off the ballot. So this guy's involved in all those things, and now we learn he was involved in spying on the President of the United States. I think that is a key takeaway. The Democrats' key lawyer, their #1 election lawyer, was involved in spying on the sitting President of the United States.
Congressman, I also wanted to ask about this. Hillary Clinton is basically suggesting, there are rumors that she might want to run again. She's not squashing them in any way. In fact, she might be a speaker at the Democratic convention here in the state of New York. But she's never answered questions about this issue. Should she?
Yeah, no. Well, of course she should, particularly now that it goes right to her campaign, right to the Democrats' top election lawyer. Of course she should answer questions. I think the other big takeaway is President Trump was right. Clear back in 2017, he said, they're spying on me. And all the Democrats and the mainstream press said, no, that's not happening. 2 years later, it was Attorney General Barr who said spying took place, and the media and the Democrats had the same reaction. Now we know for sure, in 2022, now we know for sure that they were in fact spying. And it was, as I said yesterday, worse than we thought. Yeah, Hillary Clinton looks like she's going to try to run. If it's a rematch between her and President Trump, I think President Trump wins in a landslide.